All right, perfect. We're going to go ahead and get started on our backs. Knees are bent. And the first thing I want you to do is just to begin to focus on your breath. So tuck your shoulder blades underneath your back. Palms are open facing up. Just get yourself nice and grounded on your yoga mat. You can even bring your hands, one to your chest, one to your belly. And see if you can get your hand to raise up and down. So you're breathing all the way down into your lower belly. In through your nose and out through your mouth. When we get stressed, we start to do shallow breathing and breathing into just the upper part of our lungs. So think about your breath filling your lungs from the top all the way down to the bottom. And actually, when your lungs are full, that's what pushes your diaphragm down, and that's what causes the expansion in the belly. And as you're breathing deeply here, in through the nose, out through the mouth, just let your mind relax. Imagine your mind like a peaceful lake, still, placid, and then shift your awareness down into your body, into feeling. So feeling the breath. Having gratitude for your lungs. So we often take things for granted until they're taken away, or perhaps we get ill. Just imagine not having the freedom of your breath if you didn't have that, but you do. So bring that gratitude for each breath, for your healthy lungs. And now we're going to bring the sacrum in as we breathe. So now as you breathe in, I want you to arch your back as you take a deep breath. And as you exhale, rocking your pelvis, pushing your lower back down into the yoga mat, lifting your tailbone. Now rocking your pelvis. Inhale, you're rocking down to your tailbone. Lift your belly button, reaching it towards the sky, arching your back. And as you exhale, then rocking your pelvis back to your sacrum, lifting the tailbone up as if you're reaching it towards the ceiling. So linking your breath with your movement in the pelvis. So the pelvis and the top of the neck are very, very connected to your nervous system. So if it's been in chronic fight or flight, you'll find tension in the pelvis and in the upper neck. Now let your pelvis just come into a natural resting place. We're going to take the hands and bring your thumbs to your lower rib cage and your middle finger right on your hip bone. And now we're going to do some just some pelvic tilts. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your right hip up toward your rib cage. So you're narrowing the space between your fingers. You're not lifting anything off the mat. And then as you exhale, release, let it come back into neutral. And now on the other side, you're going to bring your left hip up towards your rib cage and release. Exhale, bring the right hip bone closer to your rib cage and release. And then back to the left. Good. Let's do one more each side. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to bring the right hip bone up towards your rib cage and release. And then to the left. And release. Perfect. So we're going to do one more thing, or one more pose. It's a series of poses with your pelvis before we move on. So now with the right hip bone, reach it up towards the ceiling. Now you're lifting just the right hip bone. And release. Your belly button, so arch your back. And release. And now the left hip bone, lifting it. And release. Now the pubic bone. So you're pressing your lower back into the mat and you're lifting your pubic bone towards the ceiling and release. I call these pelvic clocks. I didn't really give you the numbers, but the left hip bone is like 9 on the clock, and we're going to go backwards now. We're going to lift the left hip bone and release, going back to the belly button, which is 6 o'clock. So lifting that towards the ceiling and release. And now the right hip bone, which is 3 o'clock, lift that and release. And now back to 12 o'clock. So pressing your lower back down into the mat, lifting your pubic bone up towards the ceiling and release. Good. Let's do some windshield wipers here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, let your knees fall to the right side. Inhale back to center and exhale lower to the left. So you can put your arms straight out to the side. You can put your arms in goalpost positions. You can rest your hands on your rib cage if that feels good. And you're going to move at your own pace, linking your breath with your movement. Exhale as you slowly lower to the side. Inhale as you come back to center. Just loosening up all the tension in the pelvis. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Let's bring the knees back to center. And now as you inhale, you're going to reach your right toes towards the ceiling. So lengthen and stretch that leg as long as you can. As you exhale, flex your foot, bend your knee. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, flex and bend. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Last time, inhale, lengthen and reach. And exhale, bring that foot down to the mat. Inhale, reaching the left toes, lengthening, stretching through the leg. Exhale, flex your foot, bend your knee, bring it in towards your chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, flex and bend. Good. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Having gratitude for your leg, for this movement. Honestly, what would you do if you didn't have this leg? Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, bring that back down to the mat. And we're slowly going to bring ourselves into a seated position. So you can either gently rock up or roll to your side. Finding your easy pose. Bringing your hands to your knees. You're going to inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, start to do upper body circles. Inhale as you come back to neutral. Moving at your own pace. Remember to keep the breath moving. Feel the pose. Notice what it feels like. And if you have a tight spot, you can pause and you can breathe into that. As we come back to neutral, we're going to take a pause. And as you exhale, you're going to switch the direction of your circles. Good. Last time around. Coming back to neutral. Sitting up nice and tall. So think about your pelvis now, the base. If you can have the 3 points, your sits bones and your pubic bone equally resting And if it's more comfortable, get yourself a bolster or something that you can sit on top of. We don't want the knees up high. You want the knees to be able to drop down lower. So inhale, lengthen out through the top of your head. Imagine you have this invisible string pulling you nice and tall. On the exhale, let's let the left ear fall towards the left shoulder. So you're focusing on the right side of the neck, using your breath. Okay, there's a lot of tension. Like I mentioned earlier, the pelvis and the neck are directly related to the nervous system. And so we want to unwind this part of our body as we're unwinding the nervous system. So deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just focus on the right side of the neck. Feel free to make some small adjustments and movements and see if you can find any really tight areas. And you can breathe into that tension. And now we're going to let the head roll forward slowly and notice if you find some tension. And you can pause and take a few breaths. And then letting your head come all the way forward, chin towards your chest. Taking deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale, lifting your head to neutral. As you exhale, let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. And honestly, we could take so much more time here on the neck. It takes time to allow the muscles to relax and soften. Think about your left shoulder relaxing. Okay, you're breathing into the left side of your neck. There are variations to this that we've done before. I just like letting gravity do its job, using the breath. Notice what you're feeling in that left side of your neck. Notice where you're feeling it. Feel free to move around a little bit. You can imagine that you're breathing in and bringing white light into your body. That's very powerful. Bringing the universal healing energy. It's all around us. The divine white light. Bringing that into your body. And just imagine the muscles are softening, lengthening, releasing. Your intention is very powerful. Connect that with your breath and different parts of your body. And that's how we're releasing the stress and tension. So deep breaths in and out. Now letting your head slowly roll forward. If you find a tight spot, you can pause right there, breathe into it. Notice what you're feeling. So I just found a spot. It radiates up into my scalp, down into the shoulder. And you may be experiencing something completely different. Just notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling it, breathe into it. And we never want to force our body. You'll get the exact opposite result. We've been generally trying to force our bodies, pushing our bodies, doing more than maybe we should be doing. And this is a time to listen to your body and what it needs. And let your head roll forward more. Finding another tight spot. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let your head roll forward until your chin is lined up with your chest. Your head is lined up with your spine. Let your head hang. Take some more deep breaths. And now let's do some half circles in the front. Nice and easy. Deep breaths. Bring your chin back towards center, and now we're gonna lift your head, and we're gonna lift it all the way up towards the ceiling. And then I want you to lengthen out from the bottom of your chin and reach your chin as high as you can. You won't be able to breathe out through your mouth because you're holding your chin up. So in this pose, in through the nose, out through the nose. Slowly release, bring your head back to neutral. I like to do this one because this is the one that keeps your neck tight. It's anti-aging. So now look slightly to your right, and we're going to do the same thing. Lift up and then reach with your chin. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Slowly release, coming back to center, and we're going to do the other side. So turning just to your left a little bit, and then lift your head, reach your chin. You can also like turn the corners of your mouth and smile, and notice how that changes it. And slowly release, coming back to neutral. And now we're just going to turn and look over one shoulder. And slowly turn and look over the other one. Now deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale as you twist. If you find a tight spot, you can pause and you can take a few rounds of breath. And imagine you're melting that stress and tension, draining into the floor, draining into the earth. And slowly release, coming back to neutral. Doing 5 to 10 minutes of that neck stretching every day is going to be really good. We're on our phones, we're on our computers, which reminds me of one more exercise for your neck because we're looking at our phones a lot. I want you to take your chin and push it back and then reach it forward. Take it back and reach it forward. Back as far as you can and forward as far as you can. Good. Coming back into neutral. Hands down by your sides. Let's reach the right arm up. And as you exhale, lean over to the side. And now we're opening the side of the body. Inhaling, coming back to center and switch. Exhaling as you lean. And you can turn slightly towards the ceiling. Exhaling. And lengthen through those fingertips. Reach. You can feel that all the way from your hips out through the fingertips. So good. Be so proud of yourself for showing up today and taking this hour for your body to give back to your body. Last time here. Once on each side. Inhale, and as you exhale, the opposite side. Inhaling, coming back to center. Good. Now take a deep breath in. Sweep your arms up overhead. As you exhale, twisting to your left. So with each inhale, you're lengthening tall, and with each exhale, you're gently twisting. Gazing towards the back, and then pause and notice where you're feeling the tension in your body, and breathe into that. With each inhale, imagine you're bringing that universal healing energy into your body. You're directing it where it needs to go. And with each exhale, you're releasing stress and tension. Just imagine it draining into the floor and draining into the earth. On your next inhale, we're gonna stick the left arm up and over, grab the opposite knee, hold on nice and tight, lean back, let your chin fall towards your chest, and breathe deeply. This is really opening up your upper back and back of the neck. Last one, as you exhale, release your arms, bring your hands back by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. As you exhale, now twisting to the right, so your left hand comes to your knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen, nice and tall. Exhale, gently twisting. Each inhale, you're reaching out through the top of your head. With each exhale, you're gently twisting. On your next inhale, sweep your right arm up and over. Grab the opposite knee, hold on nice and tight, let your head hang. Lean back. Take deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathing into the stress and tension that you're feeling inside your body without forcing. On your next exhale, release. Bring your hands down by your sides. Now you guys can stay where you are. I'm just turning so you can see what I'm doing. So now I want to open the chest. Okay, so you can take your fingertips behind you, ground down through your hips. Inhale, lift through the front of your body, opening your heart, gazing towards the ceiling. Let your head hang back, but stay within your own range of motion. Inhale, lifting your head, coming back to neutral, hands back by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. On the exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips. Lead with your heart, coming into a forward fold. Try to keep your sits bones grounded. And with each inhale, lengthen through the spine, long, flat back. And with the exhale, hinge forward. But notice where you feel the resistance in the pose and breathe into that. Now you may even want to gently sway from side to side. Inhale, half lift. Use your hands, walk over to the right side. One hand is on either side of the knee. See if you can square your chest over your thigh. Inhale, lengthen out through the top of your head. As you exhale, gently fold. Now notice where you feel that. Chances are you're going to feel that in your left hip or lower back on the left side, but that's not always true because we all carry tension in different places in our body. Now you can walk your hands away from you if you'd like. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Using your breath, bringing white light in, directing it where it needs to go as you exhale, releasing that stress and tension from your body. Just imagine it's draining into the floor, draining into the earth. Now, as you inhale, use your hands, half lift, walk back to the center. We're going to pause, take a big cleansing breath. That's a big inhale through your nose and a big audible exhale out through the mouth. That is so good for releasing tension. It's actually the sound of your voice helps to carry the tension out. So walking over to your left side, one hand on either side of your knee, square your chest as best as you can over your left thigh. Inhale, lengthen out through the top of your head. As you exhale, start to fold forward. Now, it is not about how far you go, it is about finding the tension in your body. I cannot go as far on this side. I'm really feeling it on my right side. So I'm going to just pause and breathe into that. Try to keep your back long and flat. Try to relax your right hip bone, sits bone, and let that stay rooted into the yoga mat. With each inhale, you're lengthening. With each exhale, you're just checking in about going deeper. If your body relaxes, if it softens, if it opens, and that's what you're thinking in the pose. Release, relax, soften, let go without forcing. Good. Inhale, half lift, come back to center. We're going to do another cleansing breath. Big inhale through your nose. Big audible exhale out through the mouth. Good. Coming back to neutral. Hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, twisting to your left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to your right. Inhale back to center, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to lean back. We're going to do just a few more of those windshield wipers while we're seated. Do a couple in each direction. And then we're going to come to the right side and do the 90-90. This is also super good for your hips here. So each leg is at 90. It's not quite at 90 degrees, but get close to 90 degrees. If you can, keep the sits bones on the floor. I cannot. My left side is lifted. That's okay. The idea is to try to relax that left hip so that it comes down to the mat without forcing. And then we're going to lean back, take your knees up, and then we're going to go over to the opposite side. Okay, bringing your legs into that 90-90, trying to sit up nice and tall, letting your right hip sink down towards the mat, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now you can lean back to release that pose, and then we're going to come to our hands and knees into tabletop or cat-cow. Okay, we want to stack the joints. So your hips are right over the knees and your shoulders are right over your wrists. I want you to notice the palms of your hands. All four corners should be evenly pressing down into the yoga mat, supporting you. This is our tabletop pose. Now on the inhale, drop your belly, arch your back, take your gaze forward. On your exhale, tuck your tailbone under, chin towards your chest, rounding and stretching your spine. Inhale as you take your gaze forward. Exhale as you tuck your tailbone and chin. Good. Flowing with your own breath. Coming back to neutral. And now we're just going to turn and look over the right shoulder. And so your right hip, you're trying to look at the right hip, and then you're going to turn and look over the left shoulder. So we're just going to move from side to side. Good. Coming back to center. And then let's take the right leg behind us for a spinal balance. And you can add in your left arm if you'd like. With each inhale, you're lengthening in both directions, reaching through your flex foot and your fingertips. So you're reaching through your heel, lengthening through the fingertips. On the exhale, imagine you have a zipper coming up the front of your body, zipping up your core muscles nice and tight. As you exhale, bring your left hand down. We're going to lift the right foot up and over, cross it over to the opposite side of your yoga mat, and then you're going to turn and look over your left shoulder towards the back foot. Feel that stretch all the way through the right side of your body. Slowly release. We're going to lift that leg up and over, coming back into tabletop. And now let's reach the left heel, flex your foot, the heel towards the back of the room. You can keep your both hands if balance, or if this is difficult for you, you can keep both hands down, or you can add in the right arm so we're really fully balanced. With each inhale, you're reaching through your heel, through the fingertips. With the exhale, zip your core muscles up nice and tight. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, engage your core muscles. Inhale, reach. This time on the exhale, we're going to bring the hand down. You're going to lift that foot up and over. So it's on the right side of your mat. And then you can turn your gaze and look toward that back foot. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. So we're going to release, bring your head back to neutral, lift that back foot up and over. Coming back into tabletop. And you can take your hands forward just a little bit and let your hips fall towards the yoga mat. And then you're going to push through your hands as you exhale and come into child's pose. So we're going to flow. Inhale as you come forward into cobra. Exhale as you push back into child's pose. Feel free to hold in either one of those poses if that's what your body needs today. And then coming back into tabletop. Let's take and step the left foot forward. If you have yoga blocks, they're helpful in this pose if you have them. Okay, so from tabletop, we're going to step the left foot forward. We're going to focus on the right hip flexor, which is in the front. So I want you to tuck your tailbone down and forward. It's a very small movement. And when you do that, you're probably going to feel a stretch here in the front of your leg and in this hip flexor. Now you can interlace your fingers and bring them to your knee for balance. Keep tucking that tailbone down and forward. Again, you should feel it on the front of your hip and down into your quad. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're going to slowly release. I'm just going to turn here. Okay, so from this pose, if you have blocks, it's helpful just to support yourself. We're going to straighten the front leg. Okay. All right, so flexing your foot to begin with. Now, if you don't have blocks and if you can be by a chair or a piece of furniture, you could put one hand on there just to help stabilize you. I want you to think about your leg and your foot being one unit. So flexing your foot and rotating. Not just your foot, you're rotating your leg. Think about the socket where your leg comes into your hip. So we're rotating everything, and notice what you're feeling as you're doing that. I feel it on the outside. So I'm going to pause with my foot externally rotated as far as I can, because that's where I feel it. And that might be where you feel it too. We're just going to take a few breaths there. And then again, you can windshield wiper your foot and your leg all together. Now bring the toes back to center. Here's where the blocks come in handy. Again, use a chair or a piece of furniture if you have that near you. As you inhale, lengthen through your spine. Now, as soon as I lengthen my spine, I can feel the hamstrings stretch. So you might want to stay right here. That might be enough for you. If there's more available in this pose, you can lead with your heart. So I didn't go very forward very much, and I can really feel that stretching and opening my hamstring. So I'm going to pause right there and breathe into it. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Now with your foot flexed, that's also really isolating the hamstring. If you feel it release and open, with each exhale, you're gently checking in. You might be able to move just a little bit deeper. Remember to keep your back long and flat. All right, inhale, we're going to release that pose. You can step that foot back, and we're going to step the right foot forward. Or the opposite foot, whichever. Okay, so the only movement is tailbone reaches down and forward, because we're looking for that stretch in the front of the hips. When we sit a lot, this can get really, really, really tight. You can interlace your fingers, bring your hands to your right thigh. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. When you guys come to yoga and you focus on opening these parts of your body and use your breath, you are increasing the flow of energy throughout your body. And if some of you may already be aware of it, but if you focus on it and pay attention to it, you'll be able to feel it. And it might feel like tingling. It could feel like a temperature change. So we're gonna just release this pose so you can just untuck the tailbone. If you have blocks, grab those. Otherwise, hold on to a chair or a piece of furniture. Step the right foot forward. You're flexing the foot and then rotating the leg and the foot as one. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's take the foot to the outside and just hold that for a few rounds of breath. Notice what you're feeling. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And bringing your foot back to center so the toes are pointed straight to the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And right there, that might be enough. You feel that stretch through the hamstring, through the back of the leg. If you're having enough of a stretch, you can stay right there. If you want more, keep the long flattened back, long flat back. And as you exhale, lead with your heart. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Focus on what you're feeling in your body, where you're feeling it. And remember, sometimes emotions arise because we do hold emotions in our body. If they haven't been processed, your body's trying to manage that as well. And if you feel that opening and releasing, where you can move, just gently move deeper until you feel your edge again. With each exhale, releasing stress and tension, let it drain into the floor and drain into the earth. Good. As you inhale, slowly lift. We're going to step that foot back. And we're going to curl the toes under. So we're going to open the bottoms of the feet. You can use blocks if you have them to support some of your weight, or you can keep some of your weight on the floor. If you can tolerate it, bring your weight onto your heels. This pose is very uncomfortable. Might feel borderline painful, but it shouldn't be painful. Okay, uncomfortable. Breathe into that. And the longer you sit here, because we're not used to opening the bottoms of the feet, and we're on our feet a lot. And so if you've never done this, be patient with yourself. It takes time to open that back up, but it's so good for the flow of energy in your body. So we're going to shift the weight forward, pick the feet up, and we're going to do some circles with the ankles, and the discomfort should leave very quickly. Switch the direction. And now bring the tops of the feet down to the mat. This is for your ankle health. Same idea. If it's painful, don't put all of your weight back. When I started yoga, that's like 15 years ago, I couldn't do this. I'm definitely more flexible, in better health, I would say, than I was when I first started. So this just returns with time. And I will say I have not been fully consistent over 15 years with yoga either. I have been, I've gone away from it for a few years at a time. But I'm back. Good breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now this one, when I'm in it, it feels fine. When I come out of it, that's when I feel the discomfort come. So we're going to shift the weight forward, pick your feet up, and that's when it feels a little bit stiff. So we do 2 or 3 circles in each direction, and then switch the direction of those circles. Good. All right, so from your hands and knees, we're going to curl the toes under. Push down through your hands. Keep your knees bent. We're going to move into downward facing dog. So I want you to focus on the spine, creating length. That's why we want to keep the knees bent. So you're reaching your sits bones towards the back of the room. Now, without sacrificing the length in your spine, you can start to pedal your heels. So one heel at a time. Start to stretch out those hamstrings even more. Notice your hands. Are you pressing equally into all 4 corners of the palms of your hand? Lengthening through your spine, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's reach both heels down at the same time. Inhale, lift up onto your toes. Exhale, reach the heels down. Inhale, lift. And then let's bend the knees, walk your feet forward. Coming into a forward fold. So your feet are parallel with each other, shoulder width apart, bend your knees, let your upper body hang. Let your head be heavy. We're gonna let gravity help decompress and lengthen the spine here. You can shake your head yes, you can shake your head no. Imagine you're creating space between each vertebrae. Now, as you inhale, start to slowly straighten your legs. Slowly roll up. Let your head and shoulders be heavy, heavy, heavy. That's the last thing. Finding your mountain pose. Okay, so now think about the four corners of your feet. Are they evenly pressed into the yoga mat? Strong legs, tuck your tailbone under slightly and then lengthen through your spine, zip up your core, and imagine that string's pulling you nice and tall towards the ceiling. Take your shoulders, roll them forward, up towards your ears, behind your back. Slide the shoulder blades down, palms are open, facing forward. Notice your breath, how easily it flows in and out. Your lung capacity when you're in this mountain pose. Take a moment to have gratitude. Gratitude for every one of your toes, for both of your feet. You wouldn't be able to do this without your feet or your legs or your pelvis, your spine. Think about your bones, your muscles, your connective tissue, your health, and you're alive. You're here for a reason. You matter, your life matters. And you can feel that as truth inside your body. Let's bring hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms back and up. And exhale, swan dive forward. Just coming back into the forward fold where you can let your upper body completely relax and hang. Inhale, half lift. So long, flat back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And then reverse swan dive. Sweep your arms out and up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a big cleansing breath. Ah, good. So we're going to do our balance pose. Yeah, we did a lot of floor work today. That's okay. Every yoga class is different. So you can move by a wall and you can use a wall for support, or you can use a piece of furniture. If your balance is good and that's up to you. If you feel like you don't need it, you could also keep your heel, you put your heel above the ankle and your toes touch the floor. This is one version of tree pose. You can bring your foot to your calf below the knee. And if you feel like your balance is good, we'll see how good mine is today. You can bring your foot to your inner thigh above the knee. Avoid pressing directly on the knee. And you can bring hands to heart center. Whenever we're trying to balance, it's helpful to find your drishti, which is a focal point for your eyes, and fix your gaze on one spot and then focus on your breath. So you can leave your hands at heart center. If you decide to move your arms with me, that may make it a little bit more challenging. So there's lots of options in every single pose. And if you're feeling it, you can take your arms up overhead, putting you in an open and receptive pose to receive the wisdom, the guidance, the love, the support from the universe. Ask and it is given. Open and receive. Slowly bringing hands together, bringing your hands back to heart center. Slow and controlled. Bringing your foot back to the floor and then shake it up. So we're going to switch sides. Again, you can move by a piece of furniture, by a wall. You can keep your toes on the floor. You can put your foot on your calf, or you can bring your foot to your inner thigh. So whichever version of this pose works best for you. Find your focal point for your gaze. Focus on your breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Hands can stay at heart center or take them up overhead. Bringing your hands together back down to heart center, slow and controlled. Bring your left foot back down to the mat and shake it off. Take a big cleansing breath. Good. Coming back to the top of your mat, into your mountain pose. Feel the weight on your feet, front to back, side to side. Are you evenly balanced on the four corners of each foot? That's your base. Hands at heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into plank. And you can be on your toes or you can lower to your knees. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, you can come into Sphinx with your elbows underneath your shoulders, or you can be in Cobra with your hands on your mat, whichever one feels best for you. Exhale, slowly lower. Let's take hands down by our sides, palms facing up. And on the inhale, lifting your arms and your legs. This is maybe one of the best exercises for your core and for the entire backside of your body. Okay, your arms, your back, your legs, lifting as high as you can. Keep breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. As you exhale, release. Let's stack the hands underneath the forehead, palms facing down. Rest your forehead on the backs of your hands, bend your knees, and let your feet gently sway from side to side. Bringing your feet back to center, hands under your shoulders, pressing up onto your hands and knees, and then coming to a seated position. So we're about out of time already. Goes pretty quick. So from a seated position, we're gonna lower onto our backs. So extending your arms, knees bent, slowly lower. Slow and controlled. All the way down. Let's bring the knees in for a hug. Gently rocking from side to side. We're going to move into happy baby. So bringing the knees in towards your armpits, holding onto the bottoms of your feet. You could use your peace fingers and grab your big toes, or you could just hold on to your ankles or your calves, whatever feels best and whatever works for you. Think about opening through the pelvis here. If it feels good, you can gently rock from side to side. Bringing the knees back into the chest for a hug. And then we're going to keep the right knee. Let's extend the left leg. Take the right hand out to the side. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring the right knee across your body, keeping both shoulders on the ground for a gentle spinal twist. And if it's comfortable, gazing out over the right fingertips. So you're getting a spinal twist from your tailbone all the way up to the base of your skull. Gentle breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale, coming back to center. Give that one knee a hug and then slowly switch. And we're going to take the left hand out to the side, take an inhale. As you exhale, bring the left knee across the body. Keep both shoulders on the ground and turn and gaze over the left fingertips if that's available. That full spinal twist. Gentle breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale, coming back to center. Let's give that left knee a hug. And then bring the right knee back in. Give yourself so much love, so much gratitude and appreciation. For your healthy body, for it supporting you, for it taking care of you. And slowly release, finding your final Shavasana pose, taking your feet towards the front corner of your yoga mat, the front corners, and let the feet fall open. And then tuck the shoulders underneath. So your shoulder blades are coming together underneath your back. It's really going to open up your chest. And then it takes your palms facing up. And this puts you into a receptive pose. And now you can just let go. Let your breath be soft and natural. There's nothing for you to do. You're going to give yourself a few moments for your body to integrate the benefits from your practice today. I'm going to ring the singing bowl, and you can just let the sound move through you. now setting the intention to bring this feeling back with you into your day, knowing that this is your normal and natural state of being. And if you find yourself getting pulled away from this feeling, you can pause and take 3 deep breaths and bring yourself right back into this space. So you can begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Maybe take your arms overhead for a really good stretch. And slowly rolling to your side. Taking your time to come back into a seated position. With your hands down by your sides, as you inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And you're gathering that unconditional love that's always available to you. It's always around you, this universal love. And draw that energy down into your body, into your heart, filling yourself with this pure unconditional love, knowing that you are worthy, that you always have been, and you always will be. And let's take 3 deep breaths to anchor this truth and this feeling into our body. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Anchoring this feeling into every cell of your body. Exhale. Take another deep breath. Anchoring the unconditional love into your heart. And take another deep breath, anchoring your worth into your mind, knowing that you are worthy, you always have been, you always will be. And know that when you are in this place and I am in this place, we are the same, we are one. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.